Okay, Bismillah. Okay folks, welcome back to another video. We're looking at simultaneous equations, one linear and one circle equation. Okay, today's date is the 28th of 11 of the 13. This lesson is, I'm dedicating it to my school students from 11S6. Okay folks, it's for you. Now, here's our first equation. We have x squared plus y squared is equal to 49. Y is equal to 7 minus x. That's our second equation. This is our linear equation. This is our circle equation, which has powers of 2 in it. Now, the technique we're going to use for solving this equation is by substitution. So the technique we learned in simultaneous equations type 1, type 2, type 3, it's going to be different than that. And for this type of question, we're going to have 4 solutions. So if I was to, for example, give you a quick sketch of the So if I was to sketch for you this. Now, here's the circle. X squared plus y squared equals 49, which has a radius of 7 units, the black one. This blue line is possibly an equation, so you got y is equal to 7 minus x. That one's actually a negative gradient, so that actually will go downward. This is just a sketch to show you a different linear straight line equation. So now when we work out these type of questions, we're trying to find out, if you were doing graphically, where the line intersects the circle. So it intersects at 2 points, and we have a corresponding x and y, we have a corresponding x value and a y value for this point here, and for this point here we have a corresponding x value and a corresponding y value. So we have 4 answers. So let's now get back to the question. Now what we're going to do, it says y equals 7 minus x. There's the y. So we grab all of this and we put it into there. Now what we're going to do now, we're going to rewrite this equation, and where we see a y, we're going to write in 7 minus x. Okay, so what we have here, we have now x squared add y squared, but y is equal to all of this. So y squared becomes this squared. X squared add 7 minus x squared equals 49. Now what we need to do, first of all, we need to square this bracket. The normal response of students is just to square the 7 and square the x. That's completely wrong. When you square a bracket with a difference in there, you have to write the bracket physically out twice and multiply out using the normal FOIL technique. So let's start that then. So we have x squared add 7 minus x times by 7 minus x is equal to 49. Okay, so now you have 7 minus x squared. Okay, let's multiply these brackets. Start here, 7 times by 7. Okay, now copy the x squared down. 7 times by 7 is 49. 7 times by minus x, remember the minus in front of it is absolutely important. 7 times by minus x will give you minus 7x. Minus x times by 7, that minus belongs to the x, make sure you mention it in the calculation. Minus x times by 7 is also minus 7x. Minus x times by minus x will give you plus x squared is equal to 49. Now, what we got here is a string of x squared terms, x terms, and a numerical term. What we do need to do, we need to bring this 49 over onto this side as well for us to simplify and to. So what we're going to do now is opposite of add 49 is, comes to this side becomes minus 49. Okay. Right, where's my border? Yeah. Okay. So opposite add 49, the right hand side becomes minus 49, so we're just going to cheat a bit and write down minus 49 straight away. So when you bring it over, on the other side you're going to be left with equals naught. When you bring the over equal sign, you leave 0 behind. Okay. Right. Now let's do a spot of simplifying. So we have x squared add x squared, that will give us 2x squared. We have plus 49 and the 49 that we brought over became minus 49, leaving behind a 0. So these two will just cancel each other out completely, so leaving no number there. Then you have minus 7x and add another minus 7x. That will give us minus 14x. And then just the equal naught. Okay, now we're going to simplify this further because we've got 2 as a common factor in these two. So we're going to divide this by 2, divide this by 2. Because we're dividing these two elements by 2, we have to divide everything by 2. So divide that by 2 for completeness. So now we have left over here x squared minus 7x is equal to 0. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to solve this. So we've got here now what looks like a quadratic equation, x squared minus 7x equals naught, but we add the constant part, so it hasn't got a plus c part. So in this particular instance, we can use the common factorizing technique and pull out common factors. Okay, so now x is equal to okay. Right. So x squared can be split up into its factors, x times by x minus 7 times by x. So we're going to pull out the common factor, which is x. And we're left with on this side x minus 7. Pull the x out and pull that x out, we're left with x minus 7 is equal to naught. Okay, I'm going to move this question now to this side of the board, hopefully, so we can, before we run out the bottom of the question, the video. Okay, now when we solve this type of question, the idea is when we solve it, we have to make this side equal to naught. There's 2 ways of doing that. Either the outside value x, which is the multiply, is equal to naught. So we say either this x is equal to naught, or you have to make this bracket equal to naught. In those 2 circumstances, the whole of the left hand side will become 0, or this part is equal to 0. Okay, so that's the easier one. So this, as soon as x is 0, because 0 times by whatever you multiply by will always give you 0 as the answer. So that's the easier one to do in this question where you have just an x outside the bracket. Now we say either this is equal to 0 in order for this part to become 0, or this bracket part is equal to 0. X minus 7 is 0. So we need to solve this now. So x minus 7 is 0. Opposite of minus 7 is plus 7. X is equal to 7. Okay. So what we got here, we got 2 values of x. Now we need to find out is the corresponding values of y. So we have to now substitute these 2 values of x back into this equation number 2 to work out the value of y. So let's do that now then. So we say y is equal to 7 minus x. So the value of x is 7. Put the 7 into here. So we have now y is equal to 7 minus 7. So y is equal to 0. Okay, so when x is 7, y is 0. Let's copy the equation down again. This is equation number 2. Now, we had two values of x. The first one was 0. The second one is 7. We just put 7 back into here. We got its corresponding y value. We now have to put 0 into it. So I'm going to grab the 0 here and put it in again. So now we have here y is equal to 7 minus 0. So y is equal to 7. That is for when x is equal to 0. Okay, there we go. So we got our four solutions. So we got x1, y1, and x2 and y2. Okay, so that gives us the answers. Okay, right, thank you very much. I hope this video has cleared up any questions. We were doing this question earlier today in school. For those of my students who are following these lessons on YouTube, this is exactly the same question we've done in class. So I've done it again. Hopefully it's a bit more slower and a bit more clearer, and it should help you with your understanding. Okay, folks. So my class 11 S6. Hope this video helps you. Thank you.